Hi, this is Daniel O'Connor from the Warpit Reuse Network. This is a very quick presentation on how to identify ideas and deliver them. I am recording this because I had a really good response from this same presentation at an event I was at recently. I wouldn't usually do this, but had such a good response that I'm going to commit this to video so it can help other people. Okay, so the presentation was 20 minutes. I'm going to try and do this in 10 minutes because this is the internet. Okay, so my name is Daniel. I work for a company called Warpit. I'm not an expert in disruption. I'm not an expert in innovation. I'm an expert in defining a problem and delivering a solution to solve that problem. Okay, what I'm going to talk about for the next 10 minutes is, well, it's about organizations are struggling. Okay, there's a recession, or there's a nearly a recession going on almost constantly for the last 10 years. So organizations are struggling. Okay, and processes within those organizations are broken. You know, there's lots of duplication, there's lots of waste of time, and the response from organizations generally is to shrink the workforce because of this. You know, sack people. But my argument is you don't need to sack people, you just need to improve the processes. So why would you want to identify problems within your organization? Because you want to improve things, right? Okay. So if you want to improve things for your organization and come up with solutions, you're an entrepreneur. Okay, so that's for you. This presentation is for you. But also, you know, this presentation will help you if you want to be an entrepreneur, if you want to identify a solution and commercialize it to help your own organization, but help other organizations in your sector. Okay. So the overview is here. I'm going to show you how to identify unmet needs within your organization or within other organizations. I'm going to show you how to validate those ideas to make sure they're worth pursuing. I'm going to show you how to think innovatively, you know, to get your creative juices flowing. And how I'm going to illustrate these 3 points is I'm going to tell you a story about my own personal experience. And then I'm going to give you some take-home tips and some tools so you can leave this presentation feeling like you can take action, okay? So I used to be a waste manager in an organization, and I would say things like this every day. Okay, this is a symptom of a broken system. Someone's thrown out a chair, right, and it could be reused elsewhere. There's 2 pinpoints. You need to dispose of the chair. That's going to cost you money, but also someone else in your organization needs a chair, and you're throwing one out. The system is broken. Now, you can call that an unmet need or a pain point. In this presentation, it's all about identifying pain points within organizations. I'm going to tell you a story how I identified pain points within my organization. Okay, so I used to work in a large organization where I would see this sort of thing regularly. In this particular scenario, the person who was disposing of the chairs was actually really angry that he had to dispose of these chairs. When I asked him why he was disposing of the chairs in this fashion, he said that they'd been dumped on him at the last minute. He's got no storage. He's got no time to find new homes for these chairs. He's got to get rid of them ASAP, so he has to throw them in the rubbish bin, okay? So that's when I started to find this pain within the organisation. Another scenario that happened in the same organisation, somebody phoned me up. They said they had 70 chairs to dispose of. I asked them, what's the timeline for disposal? He said they're outside on the lawn now. So another pinpoint. That person's got no time and he's got no storage, so the items get put outside. Luckily enough, the next day I witnessed a delivery of 30 new chairs to the same address. So I asked the person, let's call him John, I asked John, yesterday you got me to dispose of 70 chairs, but today you got a delivery of 30 chairs, almost the same. What's going on? With that, John erupted in anger and said he knew nothing about the delivery of the new chairs. So what happened within that building was there was 3 departments, and the departments weren't talking to each other about disposals and needs. Okay, so the pain point there was communication. Now here's another point. I witnessed this scenario when we were doing a building clearance. Staff had vacated the building and just left reusable items in a store cupboard, okay, for the building clearance contractors to dispose of. The pain point there is they didn't know what to do with it. They had no route to find new homes for these items, so they just left them behind. This was a photo taken the Monday before the building was supposed to be emptied of all of the assets. As you can see, all the assets are still in place, the staff are still working, all of the paper data issues, all the data is still there as well. So, staff aren't thinking about this independent building move. They're just thinking about the current work process, okay? So with this, I'm defining a problem. Yeah, I'm defining a problem. People have got no time. People have got no storage. People haven't got the wherewithal to find new homes for their old stuff, okay? So I'm starting to define a problem, okay? Now here's another one. I witnessed a building clearance where builders were just throwing out these chairs into a skip. I asked the builders what was going on. They were angry because they were supposed to be doing an asbestos survey, but the client had left all of these chairs in a building. The pain point here is numerous. The pain point one, the asbestos surveyors are being paid £2,000 a day to survey for asbestos, not to clear furniture. Their foreman, their boss, wants them to do the asbestos survey, but they're spending all of their time doing furniture clearance. That is expensive for the client, okay? But also, these chairs could find a home elsewhere very easily. Well, not very easily, obviously, but these chairs could find a home elsewhere. 2 pain points. So what did I do? I defined a problem. I spoke to all the stakeholders in the chain, and I set about building a solution. The solution was an online platform which allowed staff to add surplus assets so that other staff could claim surplus assets. Those matches of needs and wants happen in the present day, but they can also happen in the future to plan for building moves so that storage isn't required, okay? Very, very simple. Staff go to this online platform before they're about to buy new, and they can see what other staff have surplus to requirement today, but also surplus to requirements in the future. It looks very similar to other online platforms, okay? Really nice for setting up internal collaboration between departments. And interestingly enough, on the system, organisations can friend each other, like on Facebook, and they can share surplus assets across organisational boundaries in a safe, legal, secure environment. So that does 2 things. It opens up the network for disposal routes, so you can always find homes for your surplus assets. But it also makes it easy for your staff to access surplus assets in their own organisations, but in other organisations, so that you can externally collaborate on resource use. Here's an example where Bath University donated an audio-visual room to Aberystwyth University. Here's an example where NHS Tayside claimed 40 waste bins of NHS South London. And we also give this system to charities and schools for free, so corporates can dispose of assets, reusable assets, into the community, okay? Now, that's what it looks like on a big picture. The reason why I'm telling you this story is this is my own personal experience of defining a problem, identifying the pain points within different stakeholders in an organisation, really exploring what the problem was, really defining it really, really distinctly, and then coming up with a solution which works. This has now been commercially available for 4.5 years. We've got customers like the whole of NHS Scotland, 17 government departments, including HMRC, Home Office, Cabinet Office, over half the university sector, 30% of the municipal council sector, about 20% of the healthcare sector. But we've got customers like the City of London Corporation, Oxford University, Newcastle University, Devon County Council, that sort of thing. So it's credible, it's legitimate, it's solving the problem that organisations had about surplus assets. Now, I don't consider myself a disruptor really, but you can consider that we are disrupting the way organisations buy assets. So here's a real life case study. Northumberland County Council signed up to Warpit. In the first 6 weeks, they analysed their spend before and after Warpit, and in the first 6 weeks, their spend in the furniture category only went down £68,000. That's their figures, not ours. So just by creating a nice, simple, easy platform where staff can share surplus assets, they reduced their spend by £68,000 in furniture category only. So we're obviously disrupting how furniture is purchased, okay? Now, so I've already talked about the unmet need or the pain points in that process. That's my life experience. Now I'm going to talk about how you can apply exactly the same principles within your work environment to come up with a solution which is going to save your organisation time, energy, effort, money. Okay. Now, if you're going to save your own organization time, effort, money, and it works in your organization, it's going to work in lots of other organizations as well in your same sector. So you can use this information however you see fit, either as an entrepreneur, that is changing things internally for the betterment of the organization, or as an entrepreneur where you can actually affect the whole sector. Okay. So you can use this information however you want. Okay. So to identify the unmet need within your organization or within your sector, you have the best insight, okay? Because you're working on that issue now, okay? You're working in that department, you're working in that office, you're working with those colleagues, right? So you've got the best insight to that issue, okay? So all you need to do is ask questions of yourself, ask questions of your colleagues, and just keep drilling down, drilling down, drilling down, drilling down, drilling down into the issue so you can define the problem, right? Okay? Once you define the problem, let your subconscious marinate the problem. Okay. Um, Now, what I'd say first, my top tip for this is try to target the most important areas to maximize your impact. If you think about the most important business area, okay, and you solve a solution there, you're going to have more impact, okay, and you're going to generate more revenue, and you're going to help more people. You're going to make your organization more sustainable, all that sort of thing. So you might want to start off by listing the most important areas of the business, and then drilling down, okay. And like I said, these are the questions to ask when you're inside the problem already, when you've already been exposed either via your colleagues or within your department to an issue, okay? But if you want to explore outside of your organization and you just want to look for an issue to solve anywhere, it's the same sort of questions, but you need to develop a relationship with the people who are working on that problem or working on that issue. So you might need to speak to friends, speak to colleagues in other sectors and other organizations. You might even need a cold call. You might just want to phone people up and start asking, what's your problem, what's your pain, where's your pain, I want to help you. And I'll show you how to do that later on. Okay, so those are the questions. I'm going to go through them, but you get the idea. By the way, the best question I find, is what's on your to-do list? What's always there on your to-do list you can never face? What can you never face each week? And that's where the most pain is for that person, okay? Because it either takes too long, or it's far too much hassle, or it's like there's duplication of effort, or it's just a nightmare to solve, okay? Once you start asking questions, right, just keep the questions open. Two good ones. Tell me more, explain further, and just let people talk, and you've just got to listen, okay? Top tip, right? Now that you know about trying to find out about unmet needs, keep these open all the time, right? Listen to what colleagues are whinging about, what friends are complaining about. Look at mega trends, right? On mega trends, this is where organizations are going. So look at mega trends and see where you might be able to marry up unmet needs within mega trends. Look in the best-selling books, business books especially, and see what books are doing well and read them. And also a really fruitful area to look for unmet needs is for awards in industries and sectors. Look at who's winning the awards or who's entering the awards and see what they're doing, okay? And if they're doing that on an organizational level, then there's going to be problem. There's an issue or a problem there that they're solving, which you can drill into, okay? How do you validate your idea once you have one, right? Well, never do it alone, right? Number one tip: never ever just have your idea and start working away on it on your own, because it can be a waste of time. You need to bounce that idea off other people so they can tell you if it's a good idea or not. There's nothing worse than spending 3 months on an idea and then telling people, and then you find out it's rubbish, and then you've wasted 3 months, okay? So 13 tips for validating an idea. Share the idea with everybody you can. The fallacy that someone will steal your idea it's a fallacy. It's the idea someone's going to steal it. It's not going to happen, right? Having the idea, yes, it's an integral part of the process, but it's the easiest bit. Delivering it and making it work, that's the hard bit, okay? Is there any competition? If there is, good. There's already a market for it. Yeah. Be wary of nice friends and family and friends. They'll just tell you what you want to hear. These are 2 tips you can do without spending much money. Build a landing page or a micro website, okay, which about your idea, and just see how it does on Google Analytics, and see, add in a form or a sign up form, see how many people sign up for it. Create Facebook and Twitter ads and analyze the click rates for your idea, yeah. So you're really presenting yourself as a company that's already produced the idea here, okay. And people who are watching think it's already there. If you can get them to click through and navigate your site or navigate your ads, then you know you might be onto something. Pitch the idea with honest, critical friends, and they'll help you like mold the idea. Other tips: talk to colleagues in the industry, right? Tell them the idea, ask them if they'd buy the idea. And then, this might be a potential funding source as well, because if they like the idea and they're willing to put some money up, they could actually fund the building of your idea, okay? And this one takes bravery, but get on the phone, call and meet the potential target audience, right? And pitch the idea as if it's already available. And if they're going to buy it, if they say they're going to buy, it's a good idea, okay? Once you've gone through all that, you've got to review and decide whether it's worth pursuing, okay? Once you do that, pitch the idea to the bank. They're going to be the most conservative people you meet about giving you money. If they say no, don't be despondent, but listen to what they say about how you can improve the sustainability, financial sustainability of the idea. Number one way to ratify it is do a crowdfund campaign. If people get behind it, you're onto a winner, right? Then go out, get public funding in the first instance, or private funding, and then look to create the minimal viable product. Okay, that is the minimum service delivery that will solve the problem without too many bells and whistles, okay? So I'm just wrapping up now. How do you create the environment for innovation? So how do we get you to be creative and think creatively around these ideas? So this is super simple. Those are my tips, right? What I'd pull out of that slide is, do not underestimate, well, all of those tips really, right? You need to stand by, yeah? But taking breaks, regular breaks, my top tip. And looking up, this is a tip from Mark Shaler, Green Ape on Twitter. Don't be listening to your device. Don't be reading your device. Look up, and you've got to be aware. You've always got to be absorbing what's going on around you to sort of identify problems. Okay. So some tools to help. Read this book. It's a handbook on how to identify and deliver your idea. Okay. Totally recommend that one. Timothy Ferriss wrote the 4-Hour Workweek. I think it was in 2008. It's still completely relevant. It's your Bible, really. This is a great use of your time and money to read this and apply the principles in this book. Evernote is a great way to capture ideas across the web and comment on them and just keep them in one safe place. Asana is a really good tool to manage your milestones, your tasks, your goals, your team and yourself. So Asana, there's other ones available like Basecamp and Trello, but Asana for me is really like my favorite tool for managing all those tasks across lots of different projects. Here's some references. So Pat Flynn does a great podcast, in particular. Episode 46 with Dane Maxwell was really good for what he calls is idea generation and idea extraction. There's a nice web page which takes you through the process here as well. And also this chap, Jim Maxwell, is really good at what he calls idea extraction. In this clip here, he actually calls someone on YouTube, cold calls a business and actually works through their pain points and comes out with a solution at the end. So three really good references there. So wrapping up now. So I'm Daniel Bede O'Connor. You can find me on LinkedIn. Just search me and we'll link up. I'm head of customer happiness at Warpit. I hope you've enjoyed this little pitch. I've gone on too long, 20 minutes. I'm very sorry. Hopefully the editors can shorten that a bit. It would be really nice if you sent this video out to other people in your organization, in particular, to help me with my product. I need to speak to the waste manager, the procurement manager, the facilities manager, the space manager, and anyone who is involved with building decommissioning, because I can help stop the problem of disposing of surplus assets. Hook me up on Twitter, drop us an email, let me know what you thought of this. Hope you enjoyed it. Have a great day. Thank you.